Hey guys, so I am coming to you with another video, and as you tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a story time video, and I've been waiting to tell you guys the story due to the fact that it happened a year ago, but it picked back up this year, and it's like drama. It's just straight drama, and I don't do drama. I can't stand drama because, for one, I have anxiety, as y'all know, and the last thing anybody with anxiety needs is drama. Where do I begin with this story? Okay, first I'm gonna tell you how me and this person met. I'm gonna call him Gemini. I'm gonna call him Gemini because he's a Gemini, and he is the true meaning of a Gemini. We met on a dating website, BFF, last year July. I think it was last year July. He pretty much was hitting me up for a minute though. Like, he was hitting me up for months, but I would never respond to him. I would just be like, not saying he wasn't attractive, but I was like, I wasn't interested. So this time I was bored and I go on POF and he hitting me up again. So, and y'all excuse this pimple, child, just like it's glistening. So he hit me up, and of course I hit him back up, and we just started talking on there, and it went from talking on there to we exchanged phone numbers. And then he hit me up that same night, and we was on the phone for like 3 hours straight. He had me cracking up. We was laughing and everything. So the first time that I actually met him in person was like a week later. He came to my job. So past all that, me and him started hanging out all the time, and he would come pick me up from work. He would take me home. We would go out to eat. We would go do stuff together. So I was really feeling him, right? So, maybe a week or two into the relationship, at home, and I was like thinking about this story that, okay, so the best friend is Candace. So if y'all been with me for a while, y'all know who Candace is. If not, y'all will know who Candace is. So I was like sitting there thinking about this story that Candace told me about this guy she used to date, and she wasn't really feeling him. She didn't really like him. She felt forced to be with him. She was like, she just couldn't take it no more, so she left him. But before she left him, he gave her money to get a new car, and so she was like, it just happened around the time that she was planning on leaving him anyway. And I just thought to myself, like, there's not too many dudes out here named Gemini, you know. And she came across my mind, and so I had got one of his pictures off the website, and I sent it to her. I said, hey, is this Gemini? And I had also texted him. I said, hey, do you know a girl named Candace? And he texted back first, and he was like, yeah, I know that BBBB. And I'm like, oh goodness, this is the Gemini that Candace was telling me about. So she writes back, and she's like, yeah, girl, how you know Gemini? And I was like, girl, you won't believe this. Because I was telling her I was dating this guy, but I didn't tell her who, because I felt like I wanted to tell her when I knew it was going to be going somewhere. And I was like, you won't believe who Gemini is to me. And so she's like, who? I say, I'm dating Gemini. And she was like, are you serious? So I finally told him that me and Candace are best friends, and he goes to tell me this story about how they was together and how it ended. So their stories had somewhat similarities to it, but then not really. And the way it ended was the total difference. The total difference was their accounts of how it ended. It's like, you know, so what you gonna do? And I was like, well, Candace is my best friend. Like, I'm not gonna go behind my best friend. He was like, we ain't never do nothing. And she even said, we ain't never do nothing. Now remember that I said that he said they never did anything, and she said they never did anything. So remember this now. And I talked to her, and she was like, girl, he is more your speed. And she was like, girl, we ain't never do nothing. I never liked him. She was like, if he wanted to feel like I used him, he could feel that. Because the thing is, Gemini is a real nice guy. He's really nice, kind-hearted, very giving and everything. But he does have a side to him that once you screw him over, is all bets are off, and he goes to like, it's like he's like Dr. Heckle, Mr. Hyde. He was like, are you gonna be happy or what? And I was like, what is it supposed to mean? He's like, if I make you happy, don't let people like Candace stop you from being happy. And I was like, well, you know, I just want to make sure she was good, because in the day, it's technically I'm going behind my friend. And he was like, we never did anything. He was like, it was not that like that at all. So as relationship goes on, whatever, we was together for like 2 months at this time, and he just stopped talking to me. He just out of nowhere just stopped talking to me. So I'm just sitting here like, why is this dude acting like this? So I would text him, I would call him for a whole week straight. I was texting, calling, hit him up on Facebook. He would read my messages. He would, you know, like, he would respond, but he would respond kind of dry, like he didn't want to be bothered with me. And after a while, I just got tired. I was like, you know, whatever, because I didn't do nothing to this guy, whatever. So I started dating this other guy like a month later, and Gemini comes up to my job out of nowhere. Remind you, I haven't seen Gemini in a month and some weeks. He comes up to my job out of nowhere, and I see him standing there behind the, I was in the office and he was behind the front desk, the front area desk. And I'm looking and I was like, what the heck is he doing here? And I go outside, I talk to him, and he's like, you know, I got into the Navy now, and now I can take care of you or whatever. And I'm looking at him like, I never asked you to take care of me, so what's the deal with that? He said he stopped talking to me because he felt like as he was getting close to me, he realized like I was special, and he felt like I'm the type of woman that should be taken care of, and he couldn't take care of me. I'm like, I didn't even ask you to take care of me. He's just like going on and on, and then I'm like, well, I have a boyfriend now, and respectfully, it's nothing. And he was like, oh, you acting just like Candace. And the thing was, in our relationship, he would do that all the time. Like every time I would say something that he didn't care for, he was swapping down. I'm reminding him of Candace. So that was aggravating itself. So he finally leaves, and I called Candace. I was like, girl, guess who was up here? And I said, oh, it was Gemini up here. And me and her were just cracking up for like an hour. And then my friend, she comes and finds me on the other side of the building, okay? On the other side of the building. And she's like, girl, your friend's still out there in the parking lot. I was like, ugh. So I go walk this parking lot to find him. I find him, and I'm standing outside the car, and he's like, just get in, we can talk. So I get in, and we literally talked for like 15 minutes, and it left with him being upset with me because I didn't want to break up with the boy I was with, to be with him. And I'm thinking to myself like, dude, you doing the most, okay? So that was the last time I saw him for a complete year. So anyways, unfortunately, in 2 days after Thanksgiving, his dad passed away. Now remind you, his family and my family, we all know each other, and you know, of course we hear like, oh, you know, pastors such and such passed away. And I was like, I felt so bad because, again, like when situations happen like that, you can't, like, I was never mad at him, I never disliked him, we just wasn't dealing with each other. And I felt so, my heart just felt so bad for him. So I reached out to him. I was like, you know, I heard about your dad. First we reached out to him on Instagram, and he never responded back. And so a following week went by. That's when they had the funeral, and my cousin, they was up here for his dad's funeral, and they came out of the house, and he was just telling me how Gemini was taking it very hard at the funeral. And so, you know, my heart went out for him. So I had went back on POF. I downloaded the app again and went back on POF and went onto his page, and I wrote him that way. And I was like, you know, I know we haven't talked in a while, but I just want to give you my condolences. You know, I hate to hear that about your father. Everything will be all right. I will keep you in prayer, blah, blah, blah. And he sit back and he was like, you know, thank you. I appreciate it. How have you been? You know, and I was like, I've been great. How have you been? And he's like, I'm good. And then we just had a little back and forth conversation. And then he gave me his number, and he told me to text him. So I texted him, and then we had started talking. And then that same day, he actually came to my house, and we sat in the car. Was it December at this point? I don't know. It could have been, I don't know. It was December. I don't know. It was December something, I think. December 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I don't know. Was it? I'm confused. So him and I pretty much was like talking, and he stated that he still liked me, and then now he's like, if you're gonna be with me this time, you cannot be friends with Candace. And I'm like, first of all, who talked about being together? Second of all, who are you to choose my friend? Third of all, that has nothing to do with me. That they had adult fun time once or twice. And then I said, well, you told me that y'all didn't do nothing. And he was like, you know, I never said that. So then I'm looking at him like, okay, is he being for real? Like, I was confused. So I go, after the conversation, I immediately go text Candace. I'm like, this is what he said, X, Y, and Z. And so then she finally hit me up the next day after she said she thought about it, because she was like, I didn't really think too much about it, because she said when you hit me up, I was kind of asleep. She said, but she's like, he lying. She's like, now I'm pissed because why is he lying to me like that? And, you know, she was just like, you know, he better leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, the next day he comes over and I'm telling him, like, look, I don't know what your issue really is with Candace. I think what it was, he really did like her, because everybody said he was in love with her. He really did like her, or loved her, whatever. But I think he's more hurt than mad. I think the money issue is more of a justification for him. That he loved her, she left him, and that hurt his feelings, and he was angry about that. Like, he was angry. As time go on, me and him started to hang, because I told him, look, if we're gonna hang, I don't want him to know about Candace. I don't want to know about the situation. It got nothing to do with me, X, Y, and Z. So I told him that I was not friends with Candace, so therefore he can shut the hell up about Candace. So although I would never give up my friends for no man, but I told him that because he would never be around whenever she's around. I said, me and her not friends. I'm done with Candace, whatever, so he can shut the hell up. So now we're just kicking it, chilling. We're not together, to remind you guys that by the time we're not together, we're just kicking it, we're hanging. So he just started acting like really funny, and I'm like, because he's nice and cold. And at first I was like, okay, I get it, he lost his dad, maybe that's the reason why he's cold right now. But then it's like, he'll be cold, but then he'll be so sweet and vibes. I hold on to nice things about people, and now that I know his situation, I kind of feel sorry for him in a way. So and the thing was, I was willing to look past his situation, you know, whatever. So he got upset with me, and we stopped talking. Well, he stopped talking to me, and I was still being my nice self, reaching out to him, making sure he was good. He will read it, but he won't respond. So after a while, I was like, forget you. And then I said, I'm not going to end 2017 on a bad note with nobody. So even if we're not going to be friends, we're not going to talk 2018, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to end nothing on bad terms with nobody. And I sent him this message. And so the night before, Candace texted him, because I told her, I said, look, I really like Gemini. I said, Gemini is a cool person, and I hate that it's gonna end like this, you know. So I think she was trying to be helpful, because she's not mad at Gemini. She's like, I really wouldn't mind burying the hatchet with Gemini. So I think it came from a nice place. And she texted him off my phone, but she said something that I would never say. It was nothing disrespectful, but it was just like, I would never say that. And so I texted him the next morning, because when I found out that she did it, it was from my iPad. Like, my iPad and my iPhone is connected. So she deleted the thread off my iPhone, but when I got up the next morning, I normally go through my messages on my iPad in the morning. And so I was like, wait, why is his message or his thread second to the last, or second from the top, or whatever? So I text him to tell him I don't want to end 2017 on a bad note. So I wish you prosperity and all that good stuff. And I said, by the way, I did not send the last text message. Candace did. Not thinking that this man don't like Candace. Like, why would you do that, Heather? You so special. So he, now mind you, he didn't respond to nothing else I said for the past week, right? And he finally writes back. And I'm excited thinking like, oh, he can talk to me. Nope. He was like, this is gonna be my last text message to you. Let me see what he says. I'm gonna say exactly what he said. He said, this will be the last text message you get from me. I thought you said you was not friends with Candace anymore. I see you are a big liar, just like she is. Don't text me no more. Thank you. Have a nice day. So you know me, I'm the type of person, you don't tell me to do something, not do something, because like for real. So I basically explained to him like I'm not a liar, which I mean technically I was, but whatever. And I said you always comparing me to her, and then I just go on and explain some other stuff, whatever. And then he finally wrote back and he said, you're not my enemy, but she had your phone the other night. That looks like you're helping the enemy to me. So I'm not going to be a part of that. And he's like, bye. So again, I have no time for stuff like that. He just was doing the most for no reason. He obviously couldn't get over Candace and what she did to him. And he couldn't get over what the girl in Chicago did to him. And he literally showed me pictures of this girl, and he was like, if I want to expose her, I will. Like, you just certified crazy, you know? So I'm like, dodge a bullet, don't worry about it. So even as a friend, I wouldn't want you as a friend either, because you're doing the most for no reason. So, but that is my story of how I dated my best friend's ex-boyfriend. I would never date a friend's ex, to be honest with you. I don't rock like that. So anyways, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow me on my other social medias, all that will be linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.